Assalamu alaikum friends. Today I'm going to review my journey from Abu Dhabi to Melbourne as we are in a COVID-19 situation. I'll tell you about all the airport procedures, my journey, and finally the quarantine procedures. I'm taking repatriation flight from Abu Dhabi to Melbourne and the airport seems to be empty. I couldn't believe when I was checking in my luggage. He told me that there are only 49 people on board. I don't know if they are making any money out of it. Literally no people around, almost empty. They told us that there won't be any shops open inside the airport. There will be one small supermarket and McDonald's outside the airport. If someone want to eat or want to get anything, he can get that. I'm really surprised, only 49 passengers on board. There is a capacity of 260 and they still haven't cancelled the flight. Finally, I'm in Melbourne and I'm gonna do a review of my journey from Abu Dhabi to Melbourne, and finally in the end I'll do a comparison between PIA and Etihad repatriation flight, all the airport procedures in Abu Dhabi and in Melbourne as well. At Abu Dhabi airport, the procedure was very simple. We have to do the temperature checks. We checked in the baggage, wait for our flight, and the flight was on time. We went to the aircraft. There was social distancing in the aircraft. One person on each seat. Like if there are 3 seats in the line, there was only 1 passenger. We have been told that the aircraft was 99.99% disinfected. The crew member were very supportive and helpful. They were observing all the COVID-19 procedures, like they were wearing PPE. The meals were good, and we had a smooth 13.5 hours flight. At Melbourne airport, again there were temperature checks and there wasn't any conventional immigration counters. There were temporary 3 or 4 counters of border protection authorities, and they have checked our passports and boarding pass and handed out a few documents to read, and then they gave us a detention notice in which they said we have to be quarantined for 14 days at designated places. My detention notice said that I have to be transferred at Crown Metropole in Melbourne CBD, and obviously they would ask you about any medical condition you are suffering from, like a diabetic patient, any medications that you need, or any medication that you're carrying with you. After the immigration, we took our baggage and they took us straight to the Skyways bus, which took us to the Crown Metropole. After that, we checked in, and again they gave us about 2 to 3 documents and asked about any requirements about any medical condition and all the dietary requirements. After checking in, I was transferred to the hotel room. The room is pretty good as expected. This is Crown Metropole, a 5-star hotel. It has got all the necessary stuff that you'll need during your stay: shower, toilet, sink, towels. There's a mini bar fridge. There are some food supplies like chocolates, drinks. They're also gonna give you some chocolates at the airport. It's got wardrobe. The bed is pretty nice, couch, table, and the beautiful view of the city. We will be provided 3 meals per day, which will be free of charge at government expenses, free laundry. The internet will be free. When they will give you the key to the room, there will be a small notice inside your envelope that will give you the access code to the free Wi-Fi. Obviously, you can't go out of the room except for medical emergencies or any compassionate grounds. On the day 9th of your quarantine, they will do a COVID-19 test, and once it's negative, you will be free to go on the day 14th. This is a non-smoking room. If you smoke, they're gonna fine you $200 for cleaning for every time you smoke. If you're a smoker and you think that you can't live for 15 days, I would suggest to bring nicotine patches and nicotine gums, or even e-cigarettes. I'm not sure about that, but the nicotine gums and nicotine patches will definitely work. Lastly, let's do some comparison between PIA and Etihad repatriation flight. I'm not going to do any comparison of the aircraft because everyone knows there's a huge difference. I'm gonna talk about the fare prices. People who came from Lahore to Melbourne, they paid around 3 grand or 3.5 grand for a single ticket, and I paid $2,200, nearly $2,300 for this flight. Paying these huge amounts, we were expecting that we will be experiencing social distancing at least, which wasn't observed on PIA plane. The international standards that should be met, PIA should think about them in order to get the passengers, Pakistani passengers and all the international passengers. Obviously, we are ready to help our PIA, but we should get these standards which should be compatible with the prices they are charging us. I really hope they will learn about their previous mistakes, and the second flight from Karachi to Sydney, that will be a lot better than the previous one. And lastly, if you have any questions, you are free to contact me about quarantine and all the procedures. I'm happy to help. Thank you very much for your attention. Jazakallah khair.